Welcome to Getting Started with Paddle. I'm Robbie and I'm part of the sales team here. This video will give you an overview of the Paddle platform, and today we're going to go through billing and subscriptions, how to create and manage your subscription plans, and the Paddle checkout. Now that we're logged into the dashboard, this is the first thing that you'll be seeing once you have live transactions flowing through the platform. Before diving into the different tooling available in the dashboard, we're just going to walk through the overview side so you can set the times and windows you want to review. And this essentially gives you a very high level view of your processing history and transaction numbers. So a breakdown of revenue, transactions, average order, refunds and coupon sales. Also a split between the products and plans are selling by volume and order values. You can also see where those sales are coming from by hovering over the country list here, which gives you a view of your global customer base that you can easily sell through Paddle. Now on the subscription side, to get a further view of your SaaS data and performance, you can also track your MRR, churn and MRR movements. This gives you a view of the actual health of your subscription business, as well as seeing new MRR, customer expansion, contraction, reactivation, and also churn. Again, you can set the dates to view in the dashboard, and it can also show downloaded via CSV as well. One other thing to check here is the developer tools section, where you can also leverage our webhooks and alerts for live reporting into your own systems. Please also reach out to our support team for any help getting this set up too. Next thing I'm going to do is actually create your first subscription plans. As Paddle is built for software and SaaS companies, there's a number of different ways you can set up your subscriptions, whether that's freemium, tiered, metered, or usage billing. This can be done from the catalog section. Then we're going to jump into subscription plans, where you can actually start to set those up in the dashboard. So here's where you can view the previous and active plans you've already created, which also shows how many active subscribers are already there, the headline price, and also the plan interval. What we'll do now is we'll just jump into a new subscription plan, and this is where you can name those plans. So monthly, premium, pro, annual, etc. We'd also recommend creating a new plan for each cycle. This is where you'd add your logo. This is really important, obviously, because it's visible for your customer on the checkout if you're using our overlay pop-up, and it's also displayed on the customer's receipt as well. In terms of frequency, this is where you set different typical cycles such as monthly, quarterly. You can also add custom cycles available as well if you wanted to test something different, which may be better suited for your customers. All the prices here as well. So as Paddle is your merchant record and e-commerce platform, you have out-of-the-box access to all of our payment methods and currencies. What we recommend here is you set a base price. So for example, if in the US and your main market is there, you could set a base price of $50 and then switch on as many additional currencies as you like. This is super important when expanding globally. Seeing a local price has a much higher result towards converting the sale and also higher success towards the payment being authorized by your customer's bank. We would definitely recommend making use of this, as well as actually overriding some of the prices to rounded figures as well, where you can start testing local prices too. So next up, we're going to look at managing your actual paid subscribers in Paddle. So once you have live customers who signed up and paid to one of your plans, you'll be able to see them in customers and subscribers. This is when you can track active, paused, past due, and cancelled customers. This field is where your customer success team can search for orders and customer emails, or you can scroll down here, which will be sorted from your kind of most recent sales. I'm going to jump into one of the top examples. I'm just going to click on Sujan at Paddle. We're going to view this customer, and what we can see now basically is the managed subscription area, where you've got a suite of options such as upgrading, downgrading, pause plan, or add modifier or upsell. Here's where you can see the full lifetime value or revenue from this customer, their subscription history on the right hand side, as well as the options to update their subscription as well. So adjusting your subscriber's payment amount can be as easy as adding a modifier. If you want to upsell or cross-sell any feature add-ons, this could be a separate project aside from the standard plan. And this can also be a one-off charge or a recurring adjustment for all kind of future payments as well. attached to the original subscription. So here's one I've kind of added earlier. So I'm going to add £50 onto Sujan's subscription, or take £30 off. And this is now reflected in the customer order summary. This can be a typical change to your customer success team or support team making as well. In terms of changing plan, this is where you can move customers from one subscription ID to another. So we also handle proration for you as well. And if they're moving in between cycles, we can calculate the difference if it's halfway through the month or halfway through the year. But for every change here, what you can see, there's also an API. So meaning you can set this up in your customer portal area to allow customers to make these changes self-serve, in addition to admin changes in the panel dashboard. And so we have it. I've just added a subscription modifier. I've also looked at upgrading Sujan's plan from Premium to Pro. This also shows the changes I've made to this customer in the subscription history drop-down on the right side. And you can also change the bill date via the transaction view section as well. Aside from searching at subscriber level, you can also look for specific orders in the transaction view. This is where yourself or your buyer support team can search for specific orders based on customer email, order number or product name. You can even search for coupon number if you want to pull a report for all sales from a specific campaign, for example. I'm just going to jump into this top order here. And what that'll do is just show a visible kind of transaction summary of this order. So within here, you can see the payment method which has been used, customer email and address, as well as the order history of the specific order, and also associated transactions. So these will be links to previous subscription renewals of this customer. This is where you can also handle and manage refunds in the top right. And within here, you can issue full or partial refunds, as well as collect the refund reason to why that customer needed a refund as well. Again, as with the merchant record, we're also sending compliant receipts and invoices to your customers. To give an idea of what this looks like, I'm just going to select preview here, just to show what we're sending to your customer. So this is sent from Paddle, but with an email domain in which comes from, and it's completely up to you. So you can customize this to your branding and to your logo, but this is sent on your behalf as with that merchant record. It also shows what plan they've signed up to and the statement descriptor. This can be customized to your business name as well, which appears on the bank statement for that customer too. Within this receipt, there's also a link attachment to their actual invoice. I'm just going to select that link. And this actually shows the actual invoice in the form of a web link. Another benefit of this being a web link is that for your B2B orders specifically, they can add their business details within here to update the invoice. Because it's a web link, we can validate this on our side, save the details, and they can also store this as a PDF on their side. Again, as with a merchant record, we send both of these on your behalf and are fully compliant from a tax perspective. You can also leverage our first-line buyer support team for tickets and replies to these emails. We have global coverage and a great SLA response times, and can pick up most replies from your own customers relating to the actual payment or order. Anything product-related queries that stays well within your remit, which you'll be much better equipped to support on. Everything else, however, you can actually refer to our team, including refund requests. Next place we're going to go to is checkout settings. This is where you can customize the look and feel of your checkout, which will be visible to your customers on your website. This panel has a number of different options for your checkout, whether that be an overlay pop-up, an inline iframe, or also a kind of hosted redirect page as well. So this is where you can select color, styling, branding, and payment methods that you have instant access to. You can also visualize the flow of the customer journey going through the purchase of Paddle. Starting with payment methods, obviously as with a merchant record, you've got access to all the payment methods and currencies that we have on offer. So the case of adding PayPal is just a click of a button as opposed to a separate account or integration with them. This is where you can also adjust the styling and colors of your buttons, and also the features in terms of localization for language. So again, all of this is being continually tested across our 2,000 plus sellers and optimized and improved on. Please speak to our team if you have any feedback around the UI. We'd be happy to chat with you as well. Next up, I was keen to show you what actually that could look like on your front end, on your website or in your dashboard for customers signing up. So this is Framer. They're a prosumer and B2B SaaS for designers, and they've been using Paddle for a number of years now, especially for their kind of global expansion. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to sign in and show you what that checkout could look like, where Paddle interacts and what Framer hosts. So I'm just going to select the pricing page. They have a per user seated billing model, and they're localizing the prices based on where the customer is. So we can see GBP pounds. I'm going to select the starter, hit subscribe for the yearly plan. Any add-ons or coupons is pre-selected on Framer's side, and then continue to the payments. And what you can actually see now is the Paddle checkout natively integrated within their dashboard. So we're collecting the customer address. This is important for tax purposes. And then the payment methods available. So pay by card or pay by PayPal, they've been able to Paddle. The customer can also use our coupon system or enter their VAT details if it's a business purchase. The main difference you'll see here is the fine print of this order is processed on behalf of our online reseller, Paddle.com. That's because we're taking on full liability for tax purposes, as well as processing the transaction and giving them access to many payment methods on our side. So yeah, there's a number of options this can be customized, but Framer has been testing and selected the inline checkout, so the customer has a really native experience of the customer and Framer through that transaction. Paddle is an all-in-one platform that unifies checkout, payment, subscription billing, manual invoicing, sales tax, compliance, fraud, and more. With Paddle handling all of these complexities of selling software online, companies find they can grow more quickly, grow into new markets, better monetize their offering, and sell to large businesses. Go to paddle.com to get started.